Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, but has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me, no.
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is Our Last Best Hope. To find out how we generate stories playing the game of Our Last Best Hope, go check out our Last Best Hope Rules Primer. Our Last Best Hope was designed by Mark Diaz-Truman and is published by Magpie Games. Our humble players, myself, John Holt, with me.
Ken Breese.
Christopher Diercksen.
Welcome back, Christopher.
I feel like I should have jazz hands it.
Spirit fingers.
Yeah. They're always going. Never stop imagining somebody doing spirit fingers.
All right, so we are going to play Our Last Best Hope. We're going to do the space missions. We've set our mission, so now we're going to figure out what our setting is. So we have to define our key story elements. A gigantic solar flare threatens to wipe out Earth's atmosphere. So now that we have a crisis, we're going to have our limit.
Technology, like the technology being specific or experimental.
That sounds
or
cool
only...
to me too. Like we have this thing.
Well, how? I mean,
we
like,
have the thing.
The thing is like, it's a little bit like the Armageddon plot, right? But
we have
like,
the drills.
We have the tools and we have the drills and we can do the
whatever
it is.
The
like,
experimental technology.
how do you
right?
stop
That's
a solar
that one?
flare from breaking up the atmosphere? It's probably not because of political infighting. You know what I
Team
mean?
members have experimentally enhanced. No.
Yeah,
Team member-
like that doesn't help anybody.
Team
else.
has access to a unique experimental device.
That's probably the most plausible.
Yeah, you like that one?
Of all the things, doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one.
Yeah, I like that one. Jumping off of that, I also like that the device was the ship. Experimental ship is the only vehicle that can complete the mission.
It's kind of fun. It sort of ties into the other one too.
Right? Yeah, I kind of...
Probably not built to do this, but it might be
Experimental
ship.
You guys want to do experimental ship? So we need to define the plan. We have an experimental ship
Yep.
that's the only one of its kind that should be able to help.
We got to fly the ship
could
there.
be.
We got to get
Yeah.
there.
We have to get in the path. I feel like it's all about the path of the flare.
Ooh,
Right?
yeah.
Like intercept the flare before it reaches Earth.
The flare is the issue with the flare is the electromagnetic. What it does to the electromagnetic field.
Exactly.
Right? So if it's going to break up the atmosphere, it's going to interrupt the magnetism of the Earth to actually literally blow the atmosphere away.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only a couple ways to do that, and there's a mirror. You can mirror it, you can deflect it, or you can absorb it.
Get ourselves there. Get ourselves in the right path.
Right, with a certain probably a certain distance between us and Earth
Mm-hmm.
in order to actually.
Oh yeah, there's like the specific spot.
Yeah.
We need to align ourselves
Yeah.
into.
I say deflect. Is it good?
Yeah.
Flare? All
Deflect
right.
is fun.
Need to deflect it.
Deflect is certainly a good plan
Mhm.
because it's definitely the one that's probably the safest for the people on the right.
Mhm.
Imagine.
Yep, we want to survive. That'd
And
be
it's
good.
it's pretty big, and I'd also say it's going to be like long too, so there's going to be a duration to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
not only do we have to we also have to stay the course once we get there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And ride it out. The solar wind that would come out of this would be
Yes.
so torrential that
Mhm.
even an hour would be a pretty long time.
So now we should create our characters.
I've created the character Lieutenant Commander Red Roberts.
Red Roberts.
Red is his sort of nickname. No one really uses his real name. Red Roberts is a hotshot pilot. He's also a renowned boxer and photographer. He has been flying our experimental spacecraft for some time. He's the only one who knows how to fly it. So that's why he's on the mission. His touchstones are that he left behind a cherished nuclear family, children, and his partner. And what he brought with him, his contagious extraterrestrial disease.
My character's name is Dr. Franklin Cortez. He is an astrophysicist, and he is a native of Puerto Rico, or at least he grew up there, and then moved to the States early on and rose through the ranks and all the things. I feel like he's also one of the key designers of the ship that we're on. I have a lot of information about the ship in my brain, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to steer us too hard. Touchstones. He brought with him his wife's ashes.
Oh.
His wife being also an astrophysicist of him, and he left behind his will to survive the mission.
So I'm playing Dr. Childers Kube, or Kube. So Dr. Childers is a renowned biologist and bioscientist, and specifically deals with the effects of radiation on the human body.
Nice.
He's been brought on this mission because he can sort of evaluate and assess and try to forestall the effects. That's his hope, the hopes of many on our planet. He's brought his cyanide capsules,
Just in case.
and he's left behind his child in cryostasis.
Ooh.
So if he doesn't survive the mission and the mission's a failure, then she won't survive because the power will be cut off.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we've done our setup. We have chosen the space mission. The crisis is a solar flare, is threatening to wipe away the atmosphere of the Earth, and we are the brave few who are able to save the Earth. We're going to use the one and only experimental ship that has solar sails repurposed to hopefully get into the path with enough distance from the Earth and deflect the flare for the duration of its blast. We have a few assets in play. We have a metallic fabric foil roll. We have some repair drones, and we have turbo octo blasters stabilizing high fuel blasters for keeping us rolling quickly through
Turbo
space.
Octo Blasters, you guys.
Okay,
Very
so
important.
we've got Mimic out, we've got our captain and supply officer set, we have our threats ready, and we're going to get into our mission right away.
All right. So we're on our awesome ship, our one of a kind. Do you have a name for the ship?
The Allen. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds great. The Allen. I like it. So we gather in the conference quarters of the Allen, our awesome solar ship that will take us into the path of the solar flare so that we can deflect it and save our planet, save our people.
Now, are we already en route?
Yeah, we're en route. And that's when Lieutenant Commander Roberts calls everyone into the conference chamber. Red Roberts is wearing a flight suit, space flight suit. He's also got his service weapon at his side, which is like a baton, like a wand. And he obviously has red hair. That's how he got sort of his nickname of Red. And he is looking at readouts on one of the walls. As you two come in, turns around and says, I have some bad news to report. Our probes have returned telemetry as we had hoped, but more. It seems there are other craft in our way. They seem to have come from inside the sun.
Inside the sun.
Inside the sun!
Okay.
I don't know who these creatures might be,
Okay.
but they are directly in the path we need to take to get to our plotted location.
So you're saying that there are aliens now?
I am unsure of their origin,
Sure.
but they do come from inside the sun. So that
Just-
leads me to believe they're sun aliens of some type. Solar alien.
And do the probes say whether these things are before or after the wave?
Before.
Great. So, all right. So,
They are in our path. I don't know why. They're going to get hit with the solar flare as well. But
I have a lot of thoughts, most of them incredulous, but okay. So I'm going to go along with the idea that there are aliens coming out of the sun. So if they are able to withstand such an environment, then I'm sure that the solar flare is of little concern to them as far as environmentally speaking.
agreed.
So they're going to okay. I'm humoring you, Red.
I don't know what to tell you. These are what the instruments are telling me. It could very well be that. Am I driving you crazy right now?
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I'll tell you that much. I believe you. Sure, I believe you.
Well, it
have
could
no
very
reason
well
not
be
to
that the
believe you.
craft are remotely piloted. I don't know.
Are you sure it's just not some debris? Are you sure it's not asteroids?
Frank, I
or
think I'd
something?
know debris.
It's Franklin.
I thought it was
It's fine.
Frank.
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I particularly trust the readouts. I mean,
Yeah, this
had-
is really something else.
the tech on Earth, just in the previous waves that have come through, we've had all sorts of strange glitches and errors, and
So what about the readouts is saying that these are, how soon is this going to happen? How,
also, I mean, do we need to contend with them? Do we need to go around
No,
them?
I think we have a choice to make here. Do we interact with these creatures or these craft?
so they're craft, they're like sophisticated, they're not just rocks.
They are not rocks.
They're
Franklin.
autonomous, they're moving around as if they have a purpose.
Franklin, they came out
you.
of the sun. Their trajectory has been plotted by our probes.
Okay, so they're going straight line. They follow the probes.
The probes have the readouts.
Okay.
They haven't followed the probes to us. We've received
Yeah.
information from our probes.
Okay. And when are they coming? When are they going to get here?
Probes say that they are already where we wish to stop.
And they're stopped there?
Yes.
Okay. That's all right. I mean, that's
So either we need to find another place, or yes, I have to contend with them somehow.
we have to go past them if we're going to still be effective.
All right.
And I'm not saying through them.
Around?
We could go around them. It will take time, but we do have the turbo octo boosters.
Yeah, that's all we got. Okay.
We'd have to use some of them to make it, I guess, to keep if we want to keep the same timetable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's no option. I mean, we're
I think
cutting
we
it
just
close.
we avoid the complication.
Yeah.
I think we just get ahead of it
That's-
and block the flare further up the line.
I mean, listen. I don't know how close we can get, but if you're talking, I would love to send out probes towards them again in
We
some
can.
way.
We don't know if
Just-
they're hostile, if they're friendly.
If
we,
we're
we have
talking about
no
this
idea
is
what
first
they're-
contact that we're
we have-
talking about
I-
here, so
I didn't. I did not
it's
plan
an
for this.
No, I understand that. Even though we are going around them, and I do think that's the right thing, we are obligated. At least I'm obligated to advocate for additional research on potentially sentient life coming out of the sun, which presumably has been there for.
I mean, I think those are secondary concerns.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, we'll hopefully survive long enough to be able to research
Right.
this life. Perhaps they're fleeing the sun, or
there could be any
or
number.
Sure.
They're
Maybe they're the ones who are causing the solar flares.
Perhaps they live on the other side of the sun, and our probes are just confused.
Mm,
All that is to say, there are unidentified craft
melancholia situation.
in our trajectory.
Okay. So we got to
in
go
our
around
flight
them.
path.
We got to go around them.
Yeah, I second that. When I think we get past them, we avoid the conflict and just move past them.
Sure.
Oh,
What do you say, Lieutenant?
Okay. All right. I can do it. I'll get us there on time. We'll have to use some of the octo boosters.
Yeah.
But we can do it.
Yep, that's the thing. All right. So,
Okay.
what do you need from us? Anything?
Just this information, take it in. I don't know if this has any
Great.
if this has any bearing on any of our settings or
Okay. I'm sure it's.
or
I'll plot it out.
but currently I don't know. Try and analyze the data. Maybe there's something you can find that
Sure.
our probes haven't.
Sure.
All right.
I'm so conflicted about all of this. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. So now we go to a spotlight
Spotlight
scene.
scene.
Who would like to start a spotlight scene?
Sure. I'm about to play Red Secret, and that's how we're gonna start. We're in your I think we're in the cockpit.
We're in the
I think
cockpit.
we're where you are, and you are preparing to. I'm charting a new course around
Mhm.
this thing and looking at the readouts, and you are sitting in the cockpit,
I'm priming the turbo octo boosters.
steering. Yes.
Getting ready to steer. Also
Figuring out
steering.
and as I'm going about this, I'm sort of saying, all right, so in order for us to do this, we kind of have two options because the turbo octo boosters are
I mean,
great
do you prefer TOBs?
no, I
That's what we used to call them in the service.
okay, the TOBs. The TOBs are great for one direction, not so great for turning. So the question is, I guess what I'd like to do is we'll turn now, get to a point where we have a good trajectory, and then we can boost past them back onto our trajectory. These things that you're talking about, which
Hey, Doc, I'm as gobsmacked as you are. I never thought this would ever happen, any of this. But we got a job to do.
yeah.
We
No,
have people that we care about back home. We can't let them down.
I guess I just don't see how you jump. Why you seem smart. Why are we jumping to aliens?
Well,
Is my question. Why are we?
they are foreign objects.
That is space.
They're foreign objects. They seem to have propulsion systems that have allowed them to travel from inside the sun to
Yeah.
where we are going. They seem to be spacecraft. I do jump to piloting spacecraft since I am a pilot,
Oh,
piloting a
nice.
spacecraft.
Yeah, no,
But it could
you've done
be
it a long time.
remotely. It could be any number of things, but we
Yeah,
won't find
it's
out
not
if we don't
Okay.
engage with them.
Are you advocating engaging?
I am advocating completing the mission.
Yeah.
And it seems your ideas are the best way to do that.
Okay, Red. And I feel like,
I mean, in a pinch, the TOBs can be used in an offensive fashion.
yeah, that's true. I suppose that's true. Yeah, I suppose if we're pursued in some way, then we could. I'm sure you can line it up to blast them out.
That's right. I did it once. It's a wild ride. I've used the TOBs to take out a hostile.
I wasn't aware.
Not with this ship, but others.
No. Yeah, I know not. So you've encountered hostile spacecraft before, Red?
Sure.
I feel like there's like at least 30 seconds of silence at this moment that Franklin is just.
But that's classified.
Yeah, I don't know that classified does us any good, Red. This is an end of the world mission. So I can't do my job if I don't have all the information. So this is one of those things where like you and one of the things that Franklin is a very like sort of like stoic person, but in this moment you can see him doing the thing that he does when he gets agitated, which is just his one hand just starts kind of shaking, and he's like, I just screw classified. What? I need more information because otherwise I'm flying. So I'm in the dark, and I can't be in the dark if I'm going to help you. So there.
Well, I guess the best way I can put it is that it was action around one of the moons. One of the
moon. Okay, our moon.
No.
Okay.
One of the moons of the other planetoid.
We're talking outside of the asteroid belt here. Or we're talking like Jupiter, Venus, and closer to the sun.
All right, it was Titan. If you must know.
Okay, thank you for being okay. Good.
You can't tell anyone I told you this.
What? Who would I read? We're like about to die.
We're not gonna die. We're gonna make it back. We're
Okay,
gonna be
whatever.
heroes.
I don't care. So you're at Titan.
Well, yeah, there was the separatists.
Yeah.
They had,
Okay.
Not a lot of this made it back to to Terra. But
Yeah.
Suffice to say, there was some action there.
Mm.
I was in a tight spot,
Okay.
and I had to use the TOBs to fire off
On
some hostiles.
hostile non-human craft.
No. These were only human craft. I've never.
That's what I'm getting at here.
You're
You
asking me
were
if I've
saying-
met aliens before?
Yeah.
No.
Well, then why are we talking about it?
I don't know.
You're all right. Can I do a readout? I'm just gonna do like as he does. He's like starts to read, and these are definitely absolutely they're autonomous. These things are moving, and they're course correcting and getting closer to us. They've recognized that we're doing and are attempting to intercept us. I would be relaying that to you in this moment. So we have the TOBs. Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, just a little.
Do you need childers?
Maybe some water. No, childers. I don't need childers.
All right, so I'll need some water. Here's some water. That's a lot of blood.
It's yeah. It's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if I sling us around this asteroid, we might be able to lose them in some sort of magnetic shadow.
Sure. Okay.
I think I can probably lose them.
There's a whole lot of concerns that I have now, but okay. TOBs, you want TOBs now? Then I was about to suggest you could use the TOBs now, but then when the asteroid thing works too.
Let's hide in the asteroid and
Okay.
then TOBs out.
We don't have time to hide. We've just got to keep going. I don't know that I like that's the problem. So we got to go. We're already off course.
Then the best way to do it is to engage the TOBs so that we try and speed past them.
Okay, let's do it. I agree. So TOBs now. Hold on, let me just chart something. And I'll chart. He's like throwing in some buttons and things. Okay, your asteroid idea is actually really good. So what we're gonna do, not the one that's the one that's farther out. The TOBs is gonna take us well past that asteroid. But what I need you to do is I need you to stay I need you to go to the left of the asteroid that you liked as opposed to the right, and it's gonna pull us farther to the right, and it's going to get us to a larger asteroid, which is going to slingshot us back into the direction we're going. It's going to be a double pass, but with the trajectory that we're going to get and with the velocity that we're going to achieve with the TOBs, then that's really where we need to be going.
You got it.
And I'm going to talk to the doctor about that cough.
It's been happening since Titan. I just don't know.
Okay.
But I've done the double slingshot before. Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Well, you're not okay. Good. Let's do it. Do it.
Engage.
As we come around the asteroid and the octo boosters hit, the ship is vibrating and, barely holding up under the force of this thrust.
Strap in!
And climbing arm over arm, like up a pull ladder against the force, comes the doctor and he yells, "Fools, what have you done? Did you not make the readouts? We're clearly going right through a debris field." As you clear the side of the asteroid and you see the tail of a comet off in the distance, and we are going right through its debris field. So these large, sharp, icy chunks are coming our way. Who wants to jump in front of this threat?
I will.
Okay, so what do you do?
Cortez, why?
It wasn't on the what? Why? Who cares? Why? Let's fix it.
We're sort of going back and forth, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't know." And, all right, well, I need you to plot a new course right quick.
All right. I'm doing it.
So you're going to jump in and help.
I think I will.
Okay.
Yes.
We sort of I'm spinning the ship end over end as we're just barely missing these debris.
Doing a barrel roll.
Exactly, barrel roll, if you will. We're missing the asteroids and the debris, but some of them are bouncing off of our ship. We're not missing everything, so we're getting scuffed up. We're bouncing around.
Sure.
I'm having to dive really low and then back up again, almost like roller coaster style. Our stomachs are in our heads.
Yeah.
Finally, we sort of swoop out of the the comet's tail. Swoop out of the comet's tail.
Are we cleared it? Are we good?
Yeah.
You've just cleared the most
beginning
the
of it,
brunt
yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
and now there's
Well,
these sort of even harder to distinguish.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm definitely helping you. I'm definitely continuing to help you.
So what's happening is we do the barrel roll. I'm trying to get us out of the tail of the comet.
Yeah.
One of the pieces of debris hits the left side of the ship, and we sort of go spinning a little bit off our trajectory.
Yep.
And so I'm just trying to get us wrench the ship right back where we need to be.
I'm
saying,
furiously
Frank,
scanning.
give it more power.
I'm giving it all she's got.
I say we should have smooth sailing now, boys.
No, we're almost there.
Just
clear this
one
trail.
more dip.
As we clear this field, with that graze off that chunk,
Yeah.
took a cut out of our oxygen lines.
Absolutely.
And there's whatever chemical is in our air systems has interacted with what was in some of this comet trail, the ice there.
Sure.
And there have been actually it heated it and
Expanded
expanded it quickly and pushed our ship and broke a hole open. So now we are opened into the vacuum of space.
What the hell was that?
Who wants to jump in front of this?
But I'm happy to go.
Go for it.
All right, so I'll jump in front of this, and Red, you're making me crazy.
Always.
Definitely making me crazy.
Always.
As soon as this is happening, I see it on the readouts, and I'm first and foremost saying we've got to get our repair drones on this right away.
I'm jumping in to help. I pull an oxygen mask down on you as you are furiously working at the console as
the air is
you just don't have the hands to do it.
Right.
And I basically have lost control almost of the ship at this point. My hands are off the joystick, as it were.
Right. Your hands are on your mask to make sure that you can breathe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to breathe. Yeah.
As we're being exposed to the vacuum of space. Well, I feel as if as soon as I activate the repair drones, and though I'm getting lightheaded immediately and I have a splitting headache because I did not pay attention to getting my own oxygen mask on, the repair drones are able to assess the damage quickly and take care of it. We are still spinning wildly at this moment. We are no longer losing any sort of oxygen or life support or anything of that nature.
In this scene, we're in sort of the small med bunk, not a whole lot of room. It's just a converted storage space with some medical equipment in it. And I've just cleared Red. He got his mask on quick. He was fine, but you didn't put your mask on quick enough. I feel so. I need to check you for decompression issues and part of this is that I think your secret will come into play here. Cortez, I get acting under pressure, but you need to follow protocol. First things first is put on your mask.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Decompression, mask, then action. Otherwise, you're going to pass out and be of no use to anyone.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, okay. You're right. I wasn't thinking, and or I was. I don't know. It's all
Mimic. How much exposure did Cortez get? What's your readout?
Well, Dr. Kube, it's very interesting. As I scan, Dr. Cortez exposure minimal. However, some sort of contagion seems to have spread to Cortez. Unknown.
We'll look into this.
What? Contagion?
Something's off. I'm gonna have to keep with the looking into these readings.
Are you feeling odd, Dr. Cortez?
Yes.
Yeah, Mimic, continue readouts. Cortez, listen.
Yep.
I understand you can't push yourself so hard
Why?
because
Why?
because if you break down, there are only 3 of us here. If you break down, that's one less pair of hands to get us across the finish line.
I don't know. It's foolish to even think that this is going to work. Childers.
What are you saying?
I think that I'm saying that I have many doubts about all of this. I have many doubts about the science about this.
You were the one who put together most of the science. You're the one who helped converted the Allen from an experimental colony ship into.
Yeah, no, I know. I was there and I did it. And a lot of it, the work that I did with my late wife, she was the brains behind a lot of it, and I understood the theory of it, but she was the one that was able to, put it into practice. And so in theory, it all works, but this wasn't what this is for. This is for deep space exploration. This is not for deflector rays. This is science fiction. We are living in a science, as I'm on a spaceship. I recognize the irony. I'm just saying I'm very concerned, but I wasn't thinking, and you're right, I wasn't thinking of you when I
The science. It's too late now. We'll just have to trust the science.
yeah, trust the science.
Mimic, display. What is this anomalous reading? What's going on here? Mimic, are these? There's like beeping and
Yep,
alarms going off as you start to, I think, as Cortez starts to shudder. So you would run back in.
Yeah.
I'm like, Red, hold him down.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. And there's probably a lot of coughing.
He's
coughing up blood.
He's caught it. Gods, they told me this wouldn't happen.
What do you mean he's caught it? All right.
Childers, you fool. I'm a sick man. They sent me on this mission knowing it. They wouldn't tell me what it was or what it did, but it's getting worse. No, it's infected Cortez. I'm holding Cortez down.
I'm not a conscious person at this point. I'm just coughing.
I'm gonna access the metallic foil.
Nice.
And
And
I'm starting to roll your body in it. And
I'm basically helping you roll him as I'm sort of keeping that pressure. They told me it wasn't contagious.
Cortez, I need you to stay with me.
Yep.
And I need you to stay with us here.
Wake up!
Cortez, I'm just injecting a few random things into you.
Sure.
Seeing what is gonna take.
Come on, Doc, stay with us.
Oh God. Oh, it's worked. Cortez, you relax inside this metallic cocoon.
Yeah, a moment passes, and I
Yeah.
say, nobody make a burrito joke.
When did you start feeling these symptoms?
I don't know. No,
About a few weeks ago. Oh, him.
I don't know that I felt these symptoms I really haven't. This is very fast. I didn't even feel bad until the incident with the explosion. That was until I was sitting here with you.
Maybe there was some sort of interaction. The space dust, and maybe it's...
Wait, you've been feeling these for weeks, Red.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's accelerated in you somehow.
Let me have Mimic compare both of your scans. I'm going to do a simultaneous scan and see if Mimic... I'm going to have us all scanned
I
here.
can help you.
I think the doctor would just continue to take the brunt of this, right?
Yeah, for sure.
This
This is you.
Okay, so initially the doc jumps in and says, Roberts, how are you holding up under this this pain? It's excruciating. I can barely think.
Stop driving me crazy with your prattle, Doc. Suck it up.
You're right. You're right. I need to be the stoic. I need to maintain my sanity here under this pressure. Doc, Red.
I don't know. This is all keeping me very calm. You got this. You got this.
All right.
So that's gone.
I've got to stabilize, but
Red's
I can
still...
barely think, and I think too that the infection as ours is flared up, it's maybe something symbiotic as well.
Sure.
And so as it's sort of stabilized, your larger infection, your larger whatever it is reacting and starting to burst
Yeah.
in
manifest.
you more, manifest.
Oh,
in you more.
definitely. Yeah.
So-
As you guys are seeing basically these the way that it manifests is like a goiter, basically, as like this huge bubble pressure starts to build in my neck, shoulder area.
Yeah.
As it just starts to grow, basically, and sort of pulse. As I will take this off. I guess I'll this one on.
I'm gonna
take
do
it on. You take it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take it on.
Yeah?
But it's
unless you want it.
the
I was
thing
gonna do
is
a
though,
readout
like
on
it's your fear has come true that it is outwardly revealing itself.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm gonna assist you by doing a detailed scan on this illness and help you out in that way, and try to give you as much more information about what exactly is going on inside of you.
Awesome.
In the meanwhile, I'm going to work. I'm gonna just get in there with my like mitigating my own pain and yours. Like I'm gonna use my doctor ability to keep you from suffering any harm on this.
So you're
roll.
going in?
No, I stay out, but I make sure you don't suffer any harm on this roll.
I see. I see.
I love it.
I'm telling you where not to look. I'm telling you what not to attack.
Right, exactly. And attack really is the word for it. As I flip out my wand
Sure.
and I begin to light it as it sort of surges with like this sort of like vibrating heat at the tip of it. And I bring that vibrating wand to my goiter as I attempt to cut it out.
Okay. What?
Yeah, what happens is as I cut the goiter,
Mm-hmm.
something pops out. It's slimy and tubular.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like an eel that sort of like sort of slides out from my neck and hits the ground and is wriggling. I again bring my wand to bear to try and cut this thing in half. And we definitely succeed.
Oh, good.
As you bar the door and I stamp on it, it's like squirming towards you, stamp on it again, and then cut it in half with my vibro wand.
Nice.
What is that thing? Gods, why?
I'm gonna have to. It's very dead. As long as I hope so. I'll do some scans. I'll.
It was in me. It was in me.
Yes, it was. This is so exciting.
Bastards.
Doctor, how are you feeling?
Bastards.
Not well, but if I can, if I can biopsy this thing,
Yeah.
maybe I can find a way to get this. Make sure that this thing isn't continuing to grow in any of us.
What am I thinking? Trying to take care. You should do that. This should be for you. You should. It's a yes. I keep my eyes to the stars.
We have finished our act. So now we're gonna take all the dice in the event pool and roll them together. So these are our consequences of our choice that we made. And so our consequence is between 0 and 5 black. So we're going to build a narrative around the results of the consequence roll. So like what happens in the story that changes the course of the mission, moving us from Act 1 to 2? What did we give up to make it to the end of Act 1? How did our choice help or hurt your team as you got closer to the crisis? 0 to 5 mistakes, screw-ups, errors. You almost made it, but you came up short. Lose 1 asset at random.
By
Lose our
drone.
repair
drones are gone.
Well, that makes perfect sense because they are repairing the ship that has been totally beat to shit by
We've exhausted their
by the
usage.
comet, debris.
Yeah.
So they fixed the ship up. As part of that, they were destroyed.
We've made our way past the aliens at this point.
Yes,
As far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we've exhausted a lot of our power reserves, specifically those powering the repair drones.
Repair drones.
I mean, they fused together the hull, but they used their bodies to do it. So it's not. They're not an unlimited resource. It's not about power. It's about physical matter.
They'll hold though, and
They'll hold.
I mean the
They'll hold as well as anything else.
The Allen is sealed again.
Yeah.
Space worthy for sure.
Yeah, which is good. I
The
suppose.
problem is, where do we set up now to try and stop the flare?
No, we still have to. We have to get back into our trajectory. We're way off course.
So we're further from where we need to be.
Yeah, because we went around the original mysterious threat, which may or may not be aliens. But at this point, seeing that thing come out of your neck, I assume it is that nothing is impossible. Aliens are something.
Well, we need to make up time. We need to push forward.
Aliens or no, we have to save our planet.
Well, I feel like the Tobs are our best bet.
All right. Let's do it. We interrupt our story here, and we'll continue in our next communique. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghost. You can find my media recommendation review podcast at newtoyoushow.com and my book club podcast at woundandstab.com. Ken, where can people find you?
Board Ghost, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and my website at Berlingsbeard, Berlings Beard. I am a for-hire DM in the New York City area. Hire me to run your games. Also, myself and a few other collaborators are putting out a product called the Mixtape Adventure Mixtape, where we're doing one-shot D&D adventures that you can buy online. Check them out if you get a chance.
All right. And Chris, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitter at C_Diercksen, Diercks. You can also check out my theater company, Team Awesome Robot, at teamawesomerobot.com. Specifically to this audience, you may be interested in our Drinking and Dragons event that we are periodically putting up, in which we play Dungeons and Dragons or some fantasy RPG live in front of an increasingly intoxicated audience. Come be part of that increasingly intoxicated audience and Hunger Games style send in potions to help the adventurers.
Nice. Do you have a time frame for when the next one might come?
I think we're going to do one in the fall of 2018. Our plan is to come up with some. I mean, we have to put it together. Stay tuned. Check out teamawesomerobot.com for more information and announcements of who's going to be playing and all sorts of things. We try to get as many cool, fun, particularly theater people in the indie theater scene to come and play, and they're super entertaining. Check it out.
So to learn more about the players and engine in our story, visit boardghost.com. You can help collaborate in making the show by going to patreon.com/boardghost, where you can become a patron of the show and get some exclusive how to play videos for some of the games we play, get access to artwork and early episode releases if you are a patron, and we really appreciate our patrons. You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at Board Ghost World on Twitter. Shout out to the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal. Also, take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. And I think Pat's birthday was within the past day or two. So
Happy birthday,
Happy
Pat.
birthday, Pat.
if you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
'Cause Diane don't agree with me, no. 'Cause Diane don't agree with me.